For the past few years, we've treated language as the proof of intelligence. If an AI could write essays, explain its reasoning, pass exams, and hold a conversation, we assumed it must be thinking. That assumption felt reasonable, because language is how humans explain intelligence to each other. But explanation and intelligence are not the same thing. They just happen to overlap. A quiet shift is now underway. A class of AI systems is emerging that does not rely on language to think at all. These systems do not reason word by word. They do not narrate their thoughts. They do not need to speak in order to understand. Language in these systems is no longer the brain, it is just the interface. This isn't a better chatbot, it's a demotion. And that demotion changes everything. Number 1, the assumption we stopped questioning. Large language models trained us to equate fluency with intelligence. The better an AI sounded, the smarter we believed it was. That belief became so normalized that few people stopped to question it. If a system could explain complex ideas clearly, surely it must understand them deeply. But generative language models operate under a hidden constraint. They cannot think silently. Every step of reasoning must be produced as text, one token at a time. The model decides the first word, then the second, then the third, without ever fully knowing the final answer until the sentence is complete. Thinking and talking are fused into a single process. This works remarkably well for text-based environments. Essays, code, summaries, and conversations all live comfortably inside this structure. But the moment intelligence needs to operate outside text, cracks begin to appear. Reasoning becomes slower, errors compound, context drifts, and the system cannot hold internal understanding without continuously verbalizing it. We didn't just build powerful models, we quietly promoted language from output to foundation. Number 2. Why the real world rejects token thinking. The physical world does not unfold in sentences. It unfolds continuously. Objects move before they are named, actions begin before they can be described, causes ripple forward long before effects can be narrated. This creates a mismatch. Language models are optimized for static representations of knowledge. The real world is dynamic, noisy, and causal. A model can describe a video frame perfectly and still fail to understand what is happening across time. It can label objects accurately while missing the action entirely. This is why AI can ace standardized tests, yet struggle with basic real-world tasks. Driving, manipulation, planning, and prediction require temporal understanding, not textual explanation. The world does not pause to let intelligence finish generating a sentence. As long as intelligence is forced to flow through language, it inherits language's limits. Number 3, a different starting point, meaning first. The new direction flips the order entirely. Instead of predicting the next word, these systems predict meaning directly. They build internal representations of what is happening without translating that understanding into text by default. In simple terms, generative AI thinks by talking. Meaning first AI thinks silently. Understanding lives in a latent space rather than a token stream. Language becomes optional, invoked only when communication is required. The system does not need narration to exist. It does not need to explain itself in order to know. This distinction matters because meaning is faster than language. It is also more stable. A system can hold a coherent internal state without constantly redescribing it. Understanding no longer collapses every time a sentence ends. The intelligence exists first. The explanation comes later. Number 4. Why time changes everything. One of the clearest differences appears when intelligence unfolds over time. Traditional vision or language systems often react frame by frame. They look at a moment, make a guess, and move on. There is no durable understanding of before and after. Meaning-based systems behave differently. They track interpretation across time. Early observations remain tentative. Hypotheses shift as new evidence arrives. Eventually, understanding stabilizes once enough information exists. This mirrors how humans perceive reality. We do not label actions instantly. We watch them unfold. We recognize intent gradually. We revise our assumptions until they lock into place. The difference between reacting and understanding is time. Token-based systems struggle here because they cannot maintain silent semantic state. They must keep talking to keep thinking. Meaning-based systems can wait, and waiting is often intelligence. Number 5. What this means for LLMs. This shift does not make large language models obsolete. It clarifies their role. Language models are exceptional translators. They convert internal representations into human-readable form. They bridge the gap between machine cognition and human communication. That role remains incredibly valuable. The mistake was assuming the translator was the thinker. In a layered intelligence stack, meaning comes first. Perception feeds understanding. Understanding feeds planning. Language sits on top as an interface, not a foundation. When something needs to be explained, language is used. When silence is more efficient, silence is allowed. This repositioning reduces hallucinations, improves consistency, and allows intelligence to operate without constant verbal overhead. Language models are not disappearing. They are being put in their proper place. If this perspective is clicking for you, take a second to like the video and subscribe. Most conversations about AI stop at chatbots and surface-level demos. This channel focuses on the deeper shifts underneath the hype, where real changes actually begin. Number 6. Efficiency is not the goal, it's the signal. One surprising outcome of meaning-based systems is efficiency. These models often use fewer parameters and require less training data while achieving strong performance. But efficiency is not the breakthrough. It is the symptom. Predicting meaning is cheaper than predicting words because meaning is more compressed. Language is verbose by nature. It requires precision, grammar, and structure. Meaning only needs coherence. When a system learns in semantic space, it avoids unnecessary complexity. It does not generate text it does not need. It does not maintain massive decoders solely to keep speaking. The result is faster learning and more stable representations. This efficiency hints at something deeper. Intelligence aligned with reality tends to be simpler than intelligence forced through abstraction. Number 7. Why robotics finally makes sense. Robotics has long exposed the limits of language-first AI. Robots need to act, not explain. They must predict outcomes, adapt to changes, and plan across time in environments that do not wait for narration. Every extra sentence adds latency, fragility, and failure points when conditions shift unexpectedly. Meaning-based systems are far better suited to this environment. They can model causality without speaking. They can track object permanence across occlusion and motion. They can plan sequences of action without generating commentary at every step, preserving internal continuity while remaining responsive to change. This opens doors beyond robotics. Wearables, autonomous agents, and real-world planning systems all benefit from intelligence that can operate silently. Intelligence that does not require a sentence for every thought can finally keep pace with reality, rather than lagging behind it. For the first time, physical intelligence looks achievable without brute force or endless exception handling. Number 8. The philosophical shift underneath. At its core, this movement challenges a deeply held assumption. Intelligence is not language. Language is compression. It is a way to package understanding for transmission, not the understanding itself. And mistaking the package for the content has shaped AI development for years. Humans do not simulate every atom when they think. We operate at the right level of abstraction for the task. We understand motion without calculating physics equations. We predict outcomes without narrating every step, because narration is optional once understanding exists. Meaning-based AI adopts the same principle. It learns representations that are sufficient for action, not exhaustive descriptions of reality. This allows counterfactual reasoning, planning, and generalization without drowning in detail or unnecessary precision. Language becomes a tool, not a requirement, and intelligence becomes freer as a result. Number 9. Why most people will miss this. This shift is easy to overlook because it is quiet. Chatbots are visible. Conversations are shareable. Silent understanding does not demo well, especially in a culture trained to equate intelligence with fluent explanation and confident answers. Early systems will make mistakes. Critics will freeze frames, point out errors, and declare failure. But accuracy at a single moment misses the point. Direction matters more than perfection when architectures are still learning how to align with reality. The real breakthrough is not that these systems are always right. It is that they are aligned with how intelligence actually works. They are learning the right problem before optimizing the surface. History favors architectures that scale with reality, not with demos. For years, we believed AI became intelligent by learning to speak. In reality, we may have confused articulation with understanding. The next phase of AI does not speak better, it speaks less. Intelligence is shifting away from narration and toward internal coherence. Language is being demoted from brain to interface. The systems that will shape the future may not sound impressive at first because they are busy understanding rather than explaining. And the most profound change in AI may not arrive with louder words, but with longer silences.